everyone, this is the start of my final day in Oxford. We're actually going back to London tonight. Had a good stay in Oxford, although my back and my neck and my shoulders and everything really hurts from going punting yesterday. If you did not see that video, I suggest you go back and watch it because if nothing else, you're going to get a laugh out of it. So the hotel where we're staying does not have breakfast, so my friends and I are going to go check out the covered market and try to get breakfast and some coffee there. So my friends and I got this wonderful English breakfast at the covered market, and then we just walked around for a little bit and explored the market. It was amazing. One thing I loved is that it was Alice in Wonderland themed, and there were these little rabbits and queens and Mad Hatters hanging from the ceiling. It just made it so fun and enjoyable, and also I was just surprised at the variety of things there and how beautifully the shops were decorated. It was just amazing. I absolutely loved it, and I literally wanted to buy everything there. I had to have my friends watching me at all times. After the cover market, we headed over to Blackwell's, which is a bookstore that has both new books and rare books. In the rare books section, I found 2 paperback copies of first edition works by Agatha Christie, $4.50 from Paddington and Ordeal by Innocence. They were really expensive, so I didn't buy them, but I loved looking at them. The basement of this place, however, just blew me away. This was the basement, and there was also an upstairs, so there was 3 stories of books, but the basement in itself had 2 levels, and it was a labyrinth. I was there for over 30 minutes and did not see everything. Honestly, I think heaven is gonna look like this. I was also really surprised that they had the entire collection of Agatha Christie, so essentially everything she's ever wrote, including some really rare stories not seen in the US. They were also displaying these rare copies of the Chronicles of Narnia that were signed by the illustrator. After our bookstore adventure, we actually headed over to Oxford University and listened to a lecture about Shakespeare's Richard III. It was so cool. And then we actually got a tour of the university. We toured Balliol College. If you're unfamiliar, the university is divided into multiple colleges that each have a chapel, a dining hall, a library, and dormitories. This is the courtyard of Balliol University. And next you're going to see the dining hall. It was so cool. We were not allowed into the library because students were studying, but we did see the chapel. As I was standing in the chapel, I just kept thinking of all the amazing men and women who had stood there before me. A lot of famous people went to Balliol University, including Adam Smith. His writings were actually a great inspiration for the Founding Fathers whenever they created our government. The poet Gerard Manley Hopkins also went here, and a lot of fictional characters went here too, including Dorothy L. Sayers, Lord Peter Wimsey, and amazingly enough, Captain Hook. Now, this next building does not belong to Balliol College. This is Exeter College, where J.R.R. Tolkien studied. Now, if you've seen the new Tolkien movie, this is the location where a very drunk J.R.R. Tolkien famously walked across the lawn close to midnight screaming in Elvish. It only cost £5 to get into that courtyard, so all of my friends dared me to go in there and walk across the courtyard speaking Elvish the entire way, and I was gonna do it, but it was closed when we got there. However, I later learned I was not able to do that because you are actually still not allowed to walk across the grass in the courtyard. That is still a tremendous offense, just as it was when the very intoxicated Tolkien did it. So I'm going to be eating dinner at the Eagle and the Child, which was the meeting place of C.S. Lewis's Inklings, which included great people like C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and Dorothy L. Sayers. We ended up eating dinner at an Alice in Wonderland themed pizza place. It was so cool. The people who created it went above and beyond. There was even a menu option called the Mad Hatter where you got a pizza that was randomly assembled. I didn't do that. I just got a normal pizza and it was so good. This was the perfect way to end my night in Oxford.